Hello friends, welcome once again. I am sharing a video from Vidyasthanam IAS, and here we are going to discuss about the strategies where we could score very well in written paper in the mains exam. As you know that about 85% of the marks is contributed to the mains exam, and if you perform well in this, then you could obviously land up a good rank. So I'll show you with one example how to respond to a particular question. So the question is related to plastic bans which the government had recently imposed in India. So there are several obstacles that must be overcome by the government before implementing such a ban. So how would you discuss about it? I mean, this is a question. You have to write it in 250 words, and this is like a 15 marks question. Okay. So what is the strategy? How will you approach that question? First of all, you will define what is a single-use plastic. Next, you will highlight the problems which this plastic creates. Okay. And then you have to also assess the challenges in imposing a blanket ban on it. I mean, you have to obviously see what are the sectors which are affected by this ban. There are multiple things which are affected. We will look into that. And lastly, you have to conclude it. And you have to suggest your way of how we should move forward. Okay, so let's start the responses. How will we answer? So, what is a single use plastic? Now, single use plastic is a polythene bag which you use every day. Now, you go to a kirana shop, you buy any product, you will get a plastic bag. Or the milk which you buy daily, it is packed in a plastic bag. These plastic bags are very harmful to the environment because they are made up of non biodegradable material, this one, and they take a long time to decompose. So these plastic ban are not only harmful to the environment but also to the soil, the human beings, and lastly these plastic bags get deposited in the river. It affects the marine life there also. These plastic bags, they are made up of very harmful chemicals. So once they degrade, these chemicals mix into the soil and degrade the quality of soil and also of the table water which is present, which we use daily. So this affects our brains, lungs, and a reproductive system. And these are very carcinogenic. They may even lead to cancer and other illnesses. Okay, so now we have defined what is a plastic bag. Now the next thing is why the government decided to take such a step to ban it. I wouldn't say it's a draconian step, but it becomes draconian when it affects the livelihood of people. I mean, the government should take measures to look into that also. So we'll discuss about that later on. As we already discussed, the plastic is made of harmful chemicals which are carcinogenic and toxic. Now, these pollute the environment. Okay, and what they do is they block the drains also. During the monsoon season, you see most of the drains are filled up with water. Why? Because somewhere or the other they are blocked by the plastic bags, the drains. Okay, so clogging of drain is a major problem in urban areas. Pollution of the soil. Now this is also a major problem because ultimately the food which we eat, the nutrients come from the soil. Now if there's some harmful chemical in the soil, that will automatically get into your food and into your body. So there some harmful chemicals are there which goes into your body. And also the water, the water table which is below, which we use on a daily basis, that also gets polluted. Now some people, I mean most people in every cities, they burn this plastic. Now this plastic emits a lot of greenhouse gases. Like if you would see, 1.34 gigaton of greenhouse gases is emitted by plastic. Okay, so you have to do one thing is you always have to give some statistics. These statistics will bolster how you are putting up your point. You have to give as much as statistics as possible, and you can give close about statistics because nobody exactly remembers them, but it should be appropriate. Okay. As per the research, only 9% of the plastic is recycled. Rest of the plastic is not even recycled. I mean, they're just thrown about anywhere. Okay. Like while 79% is accumulated in landfills, dumps, or natural environment, and they're slowly and slowly degrading the environment. So these are the reasons why government has taken the serious step of banning the plastics. Okay. I recently read one article where in North America there was a plastic island, okay, which was floating on top of the Atlantic, and it was so big, as big as the state of Texas. Now you can imagine how much of plastic gets accumulated in the ocean. So yeah, and they cleaned it up from there, and obviously recycled them. These plastic, they most of the plastic can't be recycled, so they disintegrated and they mix up with the soil. Okay. And they are known as microplastic. Okay. Now we'll discuss that how this ban has impacted our businesses. Okay. So you will see that there are many people who are working in this industry. Now there are about around 13 lakh people who are working in this industry, and plastic is used by more than 10,000 businesses, so it will affect these businesses. Most of the FMCG companies, you see, these biscuits, surf, okay, soaps, then milk, all these are packed in plastic. So once you ban this plastic, they will start looking into alternatives, and as a result, the prices of these will obviously shoot up. Okay. The packaging will be expensive, and the profitability will obviously be reduced. Okay. So they can either do one thing, businesses, either they can increase either they can increase the rates of those products, or the products rate will be same, but the profitability will reduce. So it affects the economy a bit. The plastic industry is worth a lot. I mean, 53,000 crore is the worth of this industry. If you see the vegetable sellers, they also use the plastic. And once this is already banned, so they will either tell you to have your own bag, or they have to switch to some other bags, and those bags are quite expensive. So their profitability will reduce in a short while. So now we conclude this, and we obviously tell what would be our action to this. Okay. So a proper set of guidelines should be implemented. I mean, if you want to implement something, you should obviously implement in a phased manner. This is the best way to implement. I mean, the demonetization also, which was very draconian, that demonetization should be implemented in a phased manner, so the economy would be on track. But what had happened is, just instantly make all the old currency invalid, and that creates a havoc. Same thing with plastic. We need to implement this plastic ban in a very much phased manner. Okay, this would help. And also, all the products which use plastic, they should be scrutinized. Okay, and we should look for alternatives where I mean, just like, say suppose milk is packed in a plastic, we should look for alternatives on what we can do. We can put it in a can, we can put it in a tin, like that, so that it is much more cheaper, viable, and environmental friendly. So this we conclude. Thank you.